Well, for more than a year now, the I-Team has watched as convicted criminals were approved to drive a taxi in Milwaukee.
That includes sex offenders and people with deadly car accidents.
The I-Team's Steve Shamraz is here to tell us what he's uncovered. Steve?
Mike and Carol, the city of Milwaukee has lifted the cap on taxi permits, which means a flood of people now want to work as drivers. And it's raising new questions about whether the city is doing a good job screening who's behind the wheel. The next time you are in the back seat of a Milwaukee taxi, you could be sharing a ride with a convicted felon or a driver with a checkered history behind the wheel. How do we know?
Okay, good morning, everyone. We'll call to order the regular meeting of the Public Works Committee.
Because the I-Team has been keeping track. Over the last 12 months, we have watched as a city committee responsible for weeding out troubled taxi drivers.
The applicant was charged in Milwaukee County with robbery with the use of force.
Is there a motion on this item? Move approval.
Has instead approved all but one person to come before them.
Move approval. Approval's been moved. Hearing no objection, so ordered.
I would move approval at this time.
Very good. Next up.
These public passenger licenses are handled by the Public Works Committee, chaired by Alderman Bob Bauman.
Are we vetting people? Absolutely.
Bauman insists his committee is doing its job. When police object to a driver's application, these aldermen ask those drivers to plead their case.
Charged in Milwaukee County with robbery with the use of force, which is a felony.
But in the 79 times the I-Team watched police object to a driver's application, the board said yes, all but once.
Approval's been moved. Hearing no objection, so ordered.
We look at the nature of the offense. We ask the applicant to explain the circumstances. We evaluate the credibility. And in most cases, as I say, we do grant the license.
What that means is this: drunk drivers.
It was cited in the city of River Hills for operating while intoxicated.
Sex offenders.
And exposing genitals to a child.
Even a man convicted of felony fatal hit and run.
My side view mirror hit him and he fell into the road.
Were all approved to drive a taxi.
That's truly up to the city.
Red Christensen is vice president at American United Taxi. When he hires someone to drive, Christensen assumes the city has weeded out potential problems.
When they license an individual, they've obviously cleared them and made them acceptable to work with the public.
With that assumption, American United focuses on the applicant's driving record going back a decade.
The bottom line is the city. They're the ones that grant the public passenger license to begin with.
Christensen admits some felons do drive for him, but says his company does take safety seriously with video cameras inside every taxi.
Very good. Next up.
And Alderman Bauman insists this system must be working because he says no cab drivers have been accused of crimes against passengers.
Okay, next up, Diallo Mosley.
Back at the Public Works Committee.
Diallo Mosley. Is there a Diallo Mosley in the House?
About the only way an applicant was denied.
Is Mr. Mosley here?
Was by not showing up.
To deny the application based on non-appearance.
We also checked with those two upstart companies in town, Uber and Lyft. Both say they do background checks beyond what the city does and will not let a felon drive for their companies.
So MPD has objected 79 times and Bauman's committee has approved.
Overruled their objections 78 times.
Wow.
Incredible. Okay, thank you very much for that investigation, Steve.